Hello, good morning. Let's do a catch-up of Traitors. It was pretty good last night. Straight off the bat, I did think he was going to be voted out, and as it turns out, he was. Very interesting thing he said as he left, I was just being who I am. And I think that pricked a few people's conscience right there, because essentially Brian was chucked out because he was bullied, basically, and the kind of herd mentality kicked in. Once one person kind of pulled him out and said a few things about him, you could almost hear people's brains whirring, thinking, oh yeah. But really, Brian was booted out because he's just different, and I think they bullied him, really. Yeah, he was definitely quirky, and he did come out with some unusual things, but he wasn't offending anybody. He wasn't upsetting anyone's apple cart. But yeah, the kind of, as soon as someone said something about him, then the sheep kind of followed. So that was a shame for Brian. Ash, oh yeah, she's not going to go very far. She's not, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but she's not being clever enough, in my opinion. Like, we've all got thoughts and ideas of how people should play the game, but in my opinion, Ash should have immediately forgiven Paul and Harry for voting for her. Should have immediately said, yeah, no, I totally understand why you did it. It's good gameplay, well done. And at the end of the day, I'm still here. So she could have said that and kind of put it to bed as far as they were concerned. But then, if it was me, I would have had two other traitors in my crosshairs, and I would have quietly, and over a period of however long it took, where you could kind of stay subtle and remain under the radar, I would have quietly stitched them both up if I could. And certainly if I was going down, I'll take them with me. Why not? It's only a game. So, but yeah, Ash, telling them that she was really angry, and that, there was sort of hinting at there's going to be, a backlash from this, but she's got nothing. She has no weapons in her armory, I'm afraid. So we'll see what happens with her, but I don't have positive feelings about her time in there. I think she's not long for that game. So it is an interesting little twist with the dungeon situation. Now that has kind of led to a situation where you've got two traitors left in there, Ash and Paul. They both have a 66% chance of being murdered now. But strangely, I think of those three people left, it'll probably be Megan, because she's been pulled up yesterday. A couple of people said, oh, you're really quiet, and I just thought, so you've decided that if you're a traitor, then one of your characteristics is going to be that you're quiet. It's interesting. I wanted to know why they reached that conclusion. So what if you're quiet? What does it mean? It just means you're quiet. Stop reading into it. Paul, oh man, that guy, I really would like to see him booted out. He's so arrogant, he's so in love with himself, and he thinks he's in full control of the whole game and all the people within it. I don't like that kind of, there's too much ego there. But yeah, he is quite an intelligent guy, but he's also a prime example for me of people who believe they're a lot more intelligent than they actually are, and that kind of, it can almost nullify the intelligence that they do have. Paul is an intelligent guy, but he's not Einstein, and he's falling into his own trap of believing that he's got full control of everyone and their minds, and that he's far too intelligent for anything to happen to him. Those kinds of people who believe things like that, they usually come unstuck, and when they do, it's often quite spectacular. So we'll see what happens with Paul, but he definitely believes that he's going to walk away with everything, and that everyone, he thinks everyone's in love with him and so on. As time goes on, people will understand and learn more about him, the person. Right now, he's the golden balls, but I don't think it will last forever. Jazz is on him, and Jazz is adamant that Paul's a traitor. So that's an interesting little dynamic to keep an eye on. I sense that Paul is aware of that. I think he is aware that Jazz is a real threat to him. So let's see what happens, because he can't blatantly start trying to chuck Jazz under the bus because it will look too obvious. So yeah, an interesting little aside there. In terms of the voting out, yeah, like I said, Ash and Paul both have a 66% chance of being murdered. So that's interesting, but I really do think it will be Megan. One or two people got on her case last night, so we'll see. But yeah, I think Megan, because I look at the group and I think that, I mean, probably it's another kind of aspect of the whole thing that you can feel a little bit safer digging someone out who's not a kind of really big personality with lots to say. And so there'll be people probably almost subconsciously thinking, yeah, we can just get rid of Megan because no one will really notice. She doesn't contribute much, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I've just got this sneaky feeling that Paul and Ash are going to survive. And if they do, then again, Ash should then change her game plan and go after Paul and Harry, because Harry, he's a little shit as well. His game plan right now is to basically throw all the other traitors under the bus. I don't like that. Look, I wouldn't want to be a traitor, but if I was, you've got to play the game and be a traitor and be a team. Yeah, I mean, none of them can trust each other, so they are double traitors, if you like, because basically you've got 4 traitors who are against the group, but now you've got at least 3 of those traitors who are against each other. And Miles, the other traitor, I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to throw him under the bus as well, one of the other traitors. So not good teamwork. You know, you've got to try and pull in the same direction, otherwise, you know, without even trying, the rest of the group can divide and conquer the traitors. So we'll see what happens with that. It was interesting the way Paul played the pity party game as well at the table when Jazz started to dig him out. You know, the crocodile tears and he did kind of flip it around quite well, but that's one of his lives gone. He can't use all that again, because you can't play the pity card to stop people going after you. So yeah, personally, I mean, they didn't really show much of Anthony last night. He's a little bit of a dark horse. I see that he's a chess teacher. Wow. He's got an interesting personality for that kind of job, in my opinion. But I don't know, I guess in a way, he's quite an interesting character to watch in the show. So I know the show can't really influence anything, but they would probably prefer him to stay. Anyway, next episode is tonight. I'll be watching and I will have things to say about that. But yeah, bottom line for me right now, I want Paul out. and Ash will go because she doesn't have a game plan and she's not very good at it. Ciao.